Today we're going to be talking about the semi-flat back 3-4-3. This formation was used a lot in Holland at one point, who originally devised the system, and also in Argentina and more recently in some Spanish teams also. It's commonly recognized that when playing a 3-4-3 you really need good, intelligent, athletic players, and the need for individual high levels of skill are necessary to play this type of system. 3-4-3 system really forces the opponent to consider changing their own system due to the constant pressure that's applied in the final or attacking third of the field. Using the front three players and also the attacking midfielder, we have the ability to constantly put pressure on all corners of the field. This really allows the front three to dictate play and dictate the pressure on the top half of the field. The whole system is based on constant defensive pressure in the attacking third from the front three players. With regards to positioning of the forwards, we play with the centre forward here, number 9, right wing forward who can be slightly pinched in or a little bit wider and higher, and also left forward to complement the other side. The midfield arrangement can be seen generally in two different shapes. In the diagram right now we can see the diamond shape with the attacking and holding midfield and two wide midfielders off flank. And here we see the other arrangement, which is a simple flat 4 all across the middle with two central midfielders who both attack and both defend. We're playing with a flat 3 at the back who generally slide to the side of the field that the ball's on, and then also a goalkeeper who essentially acts as a sweeper, keeper, certainly in this system with only the 3 at the back. Again, this entire system is predicated on the principle of constant defensive pressure and a compactness in the team when it's defended, and certainly no more than probably a maximum of 35 yards from the centre back all the way through to the centre forward during the defensive phase. If at any point we fail to have good defensive pressure on the ball, we risk this system almost entirely collapsing with a lot of space and a lot of gap. Since defensive pressure is so important in this system of play, let's start to look at how we break down our defensive phase. Let's say the other team is trying to stage an attack through their right back here, number 2, with the ball. The first principle of defense and the thing we need to do straight away is put immediate pressure on the ball. So the closest defender, or in this case the left flank forward, number 11, applies immediate pressure on. As we're applying pressure on the ball and denying any type of forward passing, the other 3 defensive lines of the team are actually starting to form as this pressure has been applied. Underneath the pressuring player, we have the centre forward, number 9, drops into a cover position here, just be slightly deeper of number 11's position, and then number 10 slides in, the right wing slides in to provide some balance also in defense. We now have a solid pressure, cover, balance line at the top attacking third of the midfield arrangement. Provide a similar pressure, cover, balance, defensive diagonal in the midfield. Defensive diagonal in the midfield tends to be more exaggerated as a result of this right flank player needs to drop into almost essentially the right back position, as we'll see, as a result of the central 3 players having to slide to ball side. The back line all shifts towards ball side. The left back pushes all the way over, the centre back slides across as well, and also the right back slides into more of a central position with the flank midfield player dropping in essentially to play right back. This creates a very slight diagonal at the back, not as exaggerated as the midfield alignment. There we have our 3 pressure, cover, balance diagonals, defensive diagonals that help us create that perfect defensive shape in the 3-4. we go back to the pressure in the attacking line or the up front line here, we can again see one of the real strengths is the ability to disrupt any type of staging area. No matter where the ball is, we always have somebody constantly pressuring within 15 to 20 yards and denying any type of ability or platform to stage an attack. Typically, most defenses try to stage attacks against a front two in, say, a 4-4-2, and this system really just pressurizes and denies any time for the back line to spread in that nice arc shape and build out from the back. We're essentially eliminating any areas of comfort for the defenders on the ball. So this essentially turns it into a game of constant pressure, constantly disrupting their play and almost forcing them into less indirect play and more direct play, and so therefore making their attacking play more predictable. In the attacking phase, it's pretty easy to see why this is such an attractive formation. We have 6 players in natural attacking positions during the attacking phase. Generally, if we're not playing a diamond shape in the middle, one of the central midfielders steps forwards in the attack, one slides back and holds. The 2 flank players have freedom to run and get high and forward as well. With the 3 front high players, also the width and attack on both sides, we always have the ability to play direct at any point in time and play behind the defense into the space behind a flat back 4, for example. Playing in this shape, we also start to feel the advantages of playing with the 3 front high players and the freedom that they have to move and create space. Some players can chip short into the seam area between the opponent's midfield and defense. Some can slide in and rotate almost with another player's position, and some can be looking for the direct ball behind the defense. And these constant variations in movement are very hard for the defensive line to track. Also, playing this system, we have an immediate opportunity to play in these 2 wide flank players who are in natural attacking wide positions during the attacking phase. These 2 wing attacking players can also push on high to the opponent's back line, kind of free from any defensive responsibilities that are taken care of by the 2 flank midfield players. This system allows us also a natural attacking partnership out wide, with the left back still remaining in position, so there's no really defensive any responsibilities of these 2 players going forward here. We also have flank players in immediate positions to receive an isolated pass from a direct switcher play or an indirect switcher play through the central players to these flank players who are in naturally open positions. This attacking switcher play we should be looking for if play becomes compacted on the left hand side of the field here. We should be aware that we have a potential opportunity to isolate a left back with our right midfield player stepping up here. So in summary, that's the basics of the 3-4-3 formation. The pros again are denying any staging area for the defensive line of our opponents, in particular through these 3 front players who constantly apply pressure. The centre forward applies pressure to the centre backs, and the right back is applied pressure by the left wing, and vice versa on the other side. We try to play with a short, compact team when we're defending, no more than 35 yards from the centre back all the way through to the centre forward. The system allows us plenty of flexibility and rotation up front, and also allows us to play direct either from the middle of the field or directly from the back with the 3 front runners. We have immediate direct attack at the front with potential for through ball. We have natural width and partnership on the wings with a lack of defensive responsibilities for these wide players, the front forward and also the right midfield player. And we also know that this system of play really does disrupt an indirect possession oriented team that likes to keep the ball and be patient on their attacks. With this type of constant pressure all over the field, they don't have that opportunity anymore, and we tend to force our will and our dictation of the game as a result of the constant pressure we apply in a defensive phase. And ultimately, we're really asking questions of the other team. Are they able to compete and play in this system, or do they need to change in order to compete and play with us, which is ideally what we want?